My name is David Diaz, and this is my journey. Pretty much, it all starts back when I was working for corporate America. And I remember putting in tons and tons of hours, tons and tons of work, to the point where I had racked up about 3 weeks of vacation. And they were about to expire because with the current company that I was with, they renewed every year. So, and whatever you didn't use just went to waste. You just lost it pretty much. So I remember requesting a week off. I was a manager at the time, so I remember requesting a week off, and it wasn't, it wasn't like a holiday season or nothing like that, but I remember that when I asked for it off, I waited about 3 or 4 days for the reply, and they got back to me saying my request had been denied because they had noticed that in the past, when I took a vacation or a break, the store's numbers didn't do so well. Alright, so they denied my vacation because the performance of the store wasn't going to do well. Okay, so at that point, I had enough. I had enough because I had put in all this work and all this effort, and because they couldn't continue for a couple days without me, they would rather keep me there and not give me the time that I wanted with my family to be able to take a breather and get ready to do it all over again. And finally I realized the circle I was in. So I started looking around, and I'm like, what opportunities are there out there that will give me my time back, or my time, my freedom, and still be able to make good money like I was making, but just kind of pretty much like be my own boss. So I had a good friend of mine, or I still have a good friend. He's a good friend, and he's doing very, very well, or he was doing very, very well. And I started looking more into that industry, and I'm like, man, this could work. This could really work. I've done it before. So the industry was cutting hair, being a barber. I've done it before. I'd cut, my own hair, or maybe my little brother's hair, off and on. Never really took it seriously per se, but I remember when I was still in high school, telling my girlfriend at the time, who she's not my wife, telling her, hey, maybe, one of the 3 things that I was thinking about doing with my life, and one of them was a barber, but it never really dawned on me the type of financial freedom and time freedom that you can have from being a barber. So I finally decided to take it seriously. I called up the school that I wanted to go to, and they weren't gonna. They didn't have another opening back up until a couple months down the line. About like 6 months down. They had just started a couple weeks ago. They had just started theirs. So I'm like, okay, cool, not a problem. So I just started watching videos and just cutting anybody I could, pretty much. Because my plan was go to school, get out of school, go to barber college, get out of barber school, and go right into a shop and start grinding and start working. But I was going to build my clientele now. So crazy twists and turns of events. I ended up having the opportunity to open a shop. A location came up. My dad happened to be driving by an open location, and they sent me a photo, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting, that'd be kind of cool. So I went over there and I talked to the landlord, and the numbers were just right. What he was telling me was just right. And I'm like, man, I know if I don't take this chance now, 12 months from now when I get out of barber school, it may not be here. The location's pretty good, numbers were good, we can make this work. Well, so we did. My family and I opened up a barbershop. And the craziest thing is we opened it up 2 months before I was supposed to go to school. Which was cool, 2 months. My family was gonna run it until I got out of there, and then once I got out of school, I was gonna run it full time. I was running it part time, and then what ended up happening was it was probably 2 weeks. No, it was a month later, right on the money. A month later, so a month before I was supposed to start school, my wife and I find out we're pregnant. So we're like, hey, cool, we're pregnant, awesome. We had been praying for a long time. We had stopped trying to have a family. It was just kind of in the Lord's hands at that moment, and it happened. And the time where we were least expected it. That's how things happen. So we were crazy excited about that. It just wow. Like, everybody was so happy for us because we had been wanting to start a family for a while. So we go to the doctor, and now we find out that it's twins. So we're having twins. So that was a change of pace for us, because now, with twins comes a lot of responsibilities, a lot of different tasks that you don't have when you just have one kid. So now, so I at that point I put school on hold. I'm like, you know what, let the babies be born, and then we'll figure out where to go from there. So turns out the babies were born 2 months early. They were premature babies. They were born 2 months early. They were 33 days in the NICU, which was honestly the scariest time I've ever been in my life. Like, I've never experienced something like that, and I've lost family members. I've lost friends that were close and very, very dear to my heart. But being there with my twin girls and almost losing one of them, that was an experience for me that I'll never wish upon my worst enemy ever. And I would never want to go through something like that again. So they were born 2 months early. We finally got out of the hospital, finally bring them home. We had just bought a house. We bought a house just, pretty much because we were having kids and wanted to make sure we had something for them. And at that time, they were about 2 months now, 3 months. They were 3 months, and I was finally able to try to go back to school, So I'm in school about 2-3 months, and it's getting hard on my wife to handle the babies on her own. When if you have twins, when they both start crying, it's pretty intense. We were new parents, these were our first kids. we went from being a family of 2 to being a family of 4 right off the bat. Just, we swung the bat and we hit a home run. And so at that moment, I looked at what was going on, and I'm like, you know what, I need to step. I talked to my school, and I'm like, hey guys, you guys know my situation. We're first time parents. The wife, my wife is first time mom. This is a little tough on us, and we have a great support system. We do, but sometimes we gotta depend on us. Certain people come in and out of your lives. So at that time, I decided to put school on hold again, and I ended up taking a leave of absence, and I was gone for 4 months, which took a huge hit on when I was going to be done and being able to be back in my shop. So here we are today. I finally am able to go back to school. So I started school. Everyone was extremely happy for me to be back. My instructors, they're awesome. I go to Benet's Career Academy here in Brooksville, Florida, and it's a great school, and they were just excited to help me finally finish this journey. You know, they know my situation, they know what's going on, they know that I own the shop, and I'm just trying to do things right and get my license and go cut hair and be able to provide a life for my family that I know I can through this industry, because I've seen it. I've seen it through multiple barbers that I know that are good friends of mine that are living a great life, you know, and taking their kids on vacations and being there whenever they need to be there for their kids and their wife, because you're your own boss in this, and you make the amount of money you want to make. You put a cap on yourself, you know. So the whole reason behind this journey, or this these recordings or whatever, these webisodes we're going to be calling them, is so you guys can pretty much experience everything that I'm going through. And, you know, for new barbers out there, so you guys know, man, it's if you think about giving up, don't give up. You know, there's people that will always have more on their plate than you, and there's always people that'll have less on their plate than you, but you just got to deal with what you're going through one day at a time. And that's how I'm doing it right now, one day at a time. You know, some weeks I can go to school 3 days, other weeks I can go to school 4 days. Sometimes, you know, on a Saturday, if they're having a special field trip or something, to make up another day. You see what I'm saying? So definitely keep pushing. You know, this is pretty much going to be my journey. I want you guys to come along with me, and when we get to the end of school, it's going to be kind of crazy just to see everything that's happened and everything that's going on. So I'm excited to share this part of my life with everybody, you know, because I know everybody's in a different stage, you know. And if you're a new barber or an old barber, you know, we're always just trying to learn something together and help this industry grow. So thank you guys for checking this out. This is the intro video of what we've decided to call Through the Fire, a barber's journey, because that's exactly what it's felt like it's been. That I've just been in and out of the frying pan multiple times while trying to get this done, and now we're gonna get this done. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys stay tuned through the whole journey and be on the lookout for episode 1, which will be uploaded here a couple weeks from now, and you guys will see it. So thank you guys. I appreciate all of you guys. Thank you for the support. Subscribe, like, share, you know, ask questions in the comments. You know, I'm going to be going more in depth into my life as the videos go on, and we'll just go from there. All right, God bless everybody.